when people doubt, we let our actions speak for themselves. When that moment comes, when our name is called, when time is running out and everything is on the line, many may crumble, but we rise.
Swallowed up, look out!
Unreal. IMG dominating.
This is just the beginning of our story.
This one getting a little out of control.
Welcome to the show.
Let's how it's going to work. Here we go. Let's go. Hey, bro.
You're here to get better. Let's get better.
I live here, Quebec, Montreal. I'm the tallest teenager in the world according to Guinness World Record book.
So when Ollie came into the weight room first, and I first shook his hand and met him, I thought to myself, man, I hope this guy comes here for the full-time year.
So I've been fortunate to coach a few 7-foot-tall players in college. Nobody over 7 foot. He is the biggest player I've had the opportunity to work with.
Yeah, it's genetics. My dad is 6'8", my mom is 6'2", my brother is 6'9".
Being a part of the basketball program for a long time, I've dealt with a lot of guys over 7 feet, so it wasn't that big of a shock. But then seeing him move and then learning how old he was, it's like, oh, this young man has a lot of potential.
I was always tall when I was a teenager. People's reaction when I say I'm playing basketball, it's kind of normal for them. Of a tall guy who's playing basketball, that's normal. I played soccer before. When I was 5, we played soccer, a sport that I was being too much tall for the others.
Olivier, he grew really fast, and part of the process of growing really fast is you lose a lot of coordination ability and you lose a lot of ability to move quickly. So it's almost like he has to relearn how to be explosive like he was when he was smaller and younger.
You know, I think for us it's managing those expectations, because although he's 7'5", he's still 15, and you know, our job is to help make sure that we don't skip any steps in his growth and development while still maintaining high-level expectations.
My weakness for now is I don't bend my knees, I would say. Like, when we do a drill of rebounding, Coach Schiller would stop me because I didn't bend my knees.
His number one, he has to move better, right?
The things that he does well right now, keeps the ball high, which sounds silly, but a lot of bigger players bring the ball down. He does a great job keeping the ball high. He has very good touch. He's a very good passer.
I want to develop in my shot, my running skills.
He stands at a little over 7 feet and 5 inches. The Guinness World Record, earning him a spot in the 2022 edition tallest male team in the world.
My reaction to the Guinness World Record was dream come true. Because when I was a kid, I used to read the pages of the books and see that the guy who was on the book, I was taller than him. When I was 12 years old, I was taller than him, so I said, why not? When they presented to me the project or the idea of me getting on the boat.
I think as long as Ali stays humble and continues to work hard, that the sky's the limit. Right now, he's very coachable. He works very hard.
Whenever you have an environment where you can have somebody push you to your next level, Olivier has other people his size, 7-footers, that he can compete against on a daily basis to help push his talent level.
We're not going to skip any steps. You know, he's got to perform well at high school and then hopefully perform well in college and with his national team. But I do believe, you know, he has the talent and the character to, you know, to play professionally one day.
Hi, my name is Flora Dan, and I'm from Beijing, China. I'm 16 years old, and this is my 4th year at IMG and my 5th year playing golf. In terms of the percentage between how much the physical side and the mental side plays in the game of golf, I think 40-60, in the sense that 40% mental and 60% physical. So I think in practice, the most challenging part in terms of the mental aspect will be push your limits on the tough days. We're all pretty good at trying our best when you're in a great mood, everything's going your way. But I think the time that separates the great from the good, it's the time that things aren't perfect. When you get to practice, your ability to focus and lock into whatever you're focusing on, that's something that I think plays a huge role.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome. Good to see you.
I have been working with Christian Smith ever since I came to IMG, and he knows me very, very well, and I do think that he is very approachable, and he tries his best to understand adversities, struggles on and off the golf course.
So Flora, I know we met the other day as a group, and I just wanted to kind of follow up with you and see if you had any reflections on our activity that we did that involved the mousetraps and kind of activity around the range and short game areas.
Yeah, I really liked the activity because we had the analogy of what a mental trap would do to you potentially, and how that can interfere your performance in a way. For me personally, my mental trap will sometimes be like I would talk kind of negatively to myself in a way. And we actually talked about the other day that saying that trying to have a more positive self-talk and trying to blend that in every activity we do is very beneficial, and that really helps me to perform under those like pressure situations that we kind of imitate last time.
So when have you noticed your self-talk on the golf course? Have you become more aware of it, whether that's in practice or on the course in practice? Have you noticed you're talking to yourself in those situations? And what are some of the situations that you sometimes do talk negatively to yourself?
Do remember those times that I was a little nervous over those short putts, and that's the time that when all those like negative thoughts kind of just come in. By knowing how positive self-talk can help me, I just trying to calm myself down, standing over the putt and tell myself, hey, you practice a lot and you got this. In August 2020, where I was able to capture my first AJGA Open win, the last shot going to a par 5 green, the ball is a little below my feet, and I have always been struggling to try to hit a good contact from that position. And I had that shot during the last approach to the green to trying to win the tournament. The way that I calmed myself down is that I was focusing more on the process of hitting the shot instead of the consequence of what if I hit a good shot, what if I hit a bad shot. At that moment specifically, I remember that we always talked about positive self-talk to yourself. So I literally tell myself, I know who I am, I know how hard I practice. So at this moment, step up to it and just execute the shot that I normally would do on a normal round practice day.
you really think the greatest of all time just came from nowhere? Of course not. Because everyone starts somewhere, and champions start here. Grown rep by rep, conditioned by pro-level coaches who have earned their stripes. Built in elite camps, training day after day. Drilled until second nature becomes first. Start at IMG Academy.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You can't succeed by yourself. You need teammates, coaches, support. You need the right tools to give you that extra edge. That's what Theragun is to me. It's the perfect enhancement to my game. To jump a little bit farther, to run that little bit faster, to reach a little bit higher. Before, during, and after my workouts. I'm DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm a TheraBody athlete.
On my get back, cop a bag slow. You would never see that. Use the trap dough.
You ever have that day? You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
It's the brightest that Friday night lights have ever been here in Bradenton, Florida at IMG Academy as the number 2 IMG Academy Ascenders welcome in their last loss from October 18th of 2019. The last time that IMG Academy lost was at the hands of the St. Francis Academy Panthers out of Baltimore, Maryland. That game was played on the campus of Morgan State University, and it was a packed house that saw the Panthers walk away with a 35-7 victory. IMG will be looking for a little bit of revenge and will not try to repeat the result of 2019 alongside my broadcast partner, Nate March. My name is Ryan Sudol, and Nate, we have a big one in store. Over 25 of the best players in the nation, according to the ESPN 300, for both the junior and senior class. It's going to be an incredible night of football.
Well, Ryan, you talk about how important this night is for IMG to exact some measure of revenge. And, if you're St. Francis, you're coming in with the opposite mindset. You're coming here to Bradenton to try and make a statement and say that 2 years ago, that was no fluke. This is the program we are. IMG, really, to watch the emotions of the senior ceremony down on the field just a few minutes ago, you notice the team is going to be riding high on an emotional wave coming in. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. You have to play under control. And IMG, they have some of the top coaching in the nation as well, to match the talent. They need to be ready to bring it from a focus perspective right from the opening kick.
It is senior night here in Bradenton, so for a lot of these seniors, this is their last opportunity to play football at the high school level for the IMG Academy Ascenders. They are wearing their black jerseys, white numerals, and blue trim with the white helmets. St. Francis in all white. They are also outfitted by Under Armour, and a strong return up to the 30, and we will get to see one of the nation's top defenses take the field.
Well, IMG defensively, the not just how stout they are defensively, what dynamic playmakers they are. Thinking back to some of their games in the middle of this season, just the ability to flip games in such a hurry with their turnover-causing potential and the ability to take things back the other way once they've got it in their hands.
And for St. Francis Academy, it will be the captain and the senior quarterback, John Griffith. They will start out with one running back in shotgun. They're going to start with a quick shot out to the sideline. Just a little screen pass for St. Francis. And they'll get a few yards on the play. It'll be close to a first down.
Well, good thought early by St. Francis. Have to think, just like several opponents have done, they're going to test the ability of IMG to defend sideline to sideline. They're going to get out into the edges on these early downs.
2nd and 1 for the Panthers. This time they will run this one right up the middle by Darrell Robinson, who's got the sideline, and he is shoved but stays in bounds to the 10-5 touchdown. St. Francis with 11:38 to go. A 62-yard rush, and the Ascenders down a quick 6.
A punch in the teeth delivered to the Ascenders by Robinson as we take another look. And again, that ability to defend sideline to sideline. He sprints all the way out there to the sideline, and once he's got the corner, just no one had an angle. Even that push, watching it live, thought it had a chance to knock him out, wound up just being a glancing blow.
And they will step on for the point after. Andre Jandayan, the senior kicker, will look to add one, and a rough start for the Ascender defense. Snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is blocked. So the silver lining of the early touchdown for St. Francis, for IMG Academy, they keep one off the board, and it is 6-0, but in favor of the visiting St. Francis Academy Panthers.
Ryan, you and I had the IMG varsity white game last night. And against that varsity white, you rarely see big plays. Same thing true for the national team. They've allowed a few in special teams this year, but very rare to see someone have the speed to get out there on a traditional snap from the line of scrimmage, get out to the boundary and turn the corner. And, not just the speed of the tailback there, Robinson, but the blocking on the outside. This is, as we knew coming in, this is an elite opponent. And IMG needs to be on top of their game, take them down.
And the story of that game from 2 years ago was Blake Corum running all over the field against IMG Academy, now running up at the Big Ten for the Michigan Wolverines with former IMG quarterback J.J. McCarthy amongst other IMG Academy alums. Again, a beautiful night here in Bradenton. The wind gusting out of the east directly across the field. May have some effect in the passing game. But for St. Francis right now, it has been the ground game that has put them ahead 6-0. And this one will just be a little squib kick. It'll be fielded at the 16-yard line, trying to find some space. Looked like the ball was loose. St. Francis, a couple of players saying they had it, but now some shoving in extracurriculars. And it looked like falling on that was Kari Jackson.
Take another look at where. Yeah, I have to think that sure looks like on the return that the returner was down, but if not, Jackson was there and wound up with the ball at the end of the play. Either way, IMG Academy ball.
And Keon Saab was instrumental in that East St. Louis game a few weeks ago. But now all eyes will be on the freshman QB1, Ryan Downs. He'll start in shotgun. Takes the snap, goes across the middle, has his man Jaleel Skinner, one of the top tight ends in the nation. Ranked number 64 on the ESPN 300, and he gets a nice first down, and Ryan Downs an easy 1-for-1.
Well, this is what people have been excited to see all year. Got a taste of it earlier this month. See Ryan Downs out there with a chance to really be QB1, as you said.
And two of the best running backs in the nation behind him in Katron Allen, the future Penn State Nittany Lion. They're going to go to the air trying to find Stacy Gage, probably one of the best sophomore running backs in the nation, but this one will fall incomplete with the pressure coming on Ryan Downs.
Good mix there by St. Francis. They had two of their defensive linemen bursting into the backfield to create pressure. The other two stayed home. Either way, that screen was pretty well sniffed out by the Panthers.
And now two receivers to the right, one to the left with Katron Allen on the back left hip of Ryan Downs. They will send a man in motion. That is Samuel Limpemba. Now the snap to Downs. They'll go to Katron Allen, who finds some space on the outside of the 45, lowers his shoulder, falls forward to about the 49-yard line. And a nice chunk for, again, the fierce running back in Katron Allen, also one of 7 Under Armour All-Americans on this IMG Academy team, along with head coach Pepper Johnson, who will be at that Under Armour All-American game.
Tackle made by Amari Terry. They sprinted him back out of the box just before the snap. Then he comes up and makes the tackle after shedding a block. IMG going to have to make good decisions. Hey, you see him up in the box again here about figuring out the blocking assignments against that safety.
3rd and 3 for IMG. There's the snap. They'll hand to Stacy Gage looking for space. He is one of the hardest people to tackle. But down he goes and will fall forward for about a yard. And now it's going to be gut check time for the Ascenders. Will they settle for the punt, or will they try to punch 2 yards forward to keep the drive alive?
Well, it feels like a lot has already happened in this game, but it's only 2 minutes in. If you're IMG, you don't want to panic. Give the defense another chance to go out there, get the stop. It's exactly what they're going to do. Line up and punt the ball.
So Hunter Mako. And on the fake, the Ascenders are able to get the first down.
Or do that.
And a nice play by Kamari Wilson. Just the direct snap. He's able to get forward for a few yards, and the drive stays alive for IMG.
Fake punts are always great when they work. And that one, what I like there, they didn't run the play clock down at all. They had the confidence in it to call it in immediately, get lined up. And I think that really is the key to succeeding on a play like that.
Yeah, and a two-tailback set with Ryan Downs in shotgun, 2 receivers to his right. Now the snap. The handoff, they go to Katron Allen, sheds one blocker, still trying to get forward deeper into Panther territory, but nothing doing. And that defensive line and linebacking core of St. Francis Academy able to shut that play down before it can get going downhill.
Well, these Panthers, all their eyes in the backfield there at the snap. Only had one defensive back really dropping back. They were pretty convinced there. This is where Ryan Downs, the young quarterback, you wonder, does he have the sleight of hand to pull off some questionable looks on whether he's handing it off or not.
From the Panther 47-yard line. Takes the snap. St. Francis wanted a false start, and they'll go across the middle trying to find Devin Hyatt. And it is an incomplete pass.
Tough route there to look over the middle for Hyatt. And you're hoping that you can get those linebackers pushed up a little further, but they were back. It was a tight window. Downs put it in a spot, thankfully, where only Hyatt had a chance at it, but a little out in front of him, and he couldn't haul it in.
A 3rd and long. Freshman quarterback with 2 receivers split out to his left and 1 man to his right. Downs takes the snap, drops, pressure coming across the edge. He is hit, and it falls incomplete. And now 4th down in Panther territory. We'll see what the Ascenders do, if they're going to trust their defense or bring Hunter Mako back out. And that is exactly what they will do. And now the Panthers will be on watch for that fake.
Derek Moore won the battle off the line of scrimmage for the Panthers. Downs just didn't have the time he needed to get that pass away with a chance to complete it.
Derek Moore, the number 23 player according to the ESPN 300. He will be playing his college football at Oklahoma University. And now this one is caught. It is muffed. Trying to recover it is IMG, and it will be St. Francis falling on it at the 4-yard line.
Wow, what a chance for a change of fields there for IMG. You got to put it behind you right away, but wow, chance to grab it right on the doorstep. And winds up slipping through their fingers.
Eight minutes, 13 seconds, and the IMG defense will look to change fields here. Again, a 62-yard run by Darrell Robinson is the difference in this game early on. Now the snap, they'll fire this one out. They find Lamar Patterson and doesn't get a whole lot. And that'll bring up second down.
IMG all over that play into the boundary. A little bit surprising to see after St. Francis went out into the field side with such great effect on their first two offensive plays. And now they put themselves not so much behind. They do pick up some yardage there, but they tried something with much less effect.
Now the snap, they will run this one right up the middle, but between the tackles, IMG, one of the most stout defensive lines in the country, and they shut it down. Jordan Hall in on the action, along with Bear Alexander, one of the other Under Armour All-Americans. And now a 3rd and long, and the Ascender defense having that short memory and forgetting about the play that put them down 6-0, and now they will try to shut down St. Francis. John Griffith takes the snap. He'll roll to his right, fires across the middle. It's incomplete. And now a punting situation as that one goes in and out of the hands of Elijah Surratt.
Well, just like the pass by Downs a few moments ago toward Hyatt, that pass for Surratt. Yeah, put it in a spot where only his receiver could catch it, but there was a lot of traffic around the ball.
Looks like Trevon Howard got a little bit of a stinger. And I believe this will be our first water break with 6:57 remaining in the first quarter. IMG trails 6-0. You are watching IMG Academy football.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. So after giving up that 62-yard run to Darrell Robinson on the first drive, the Ascender defense forces the Panthers 3 and out on their second possession. And it looks like they may want to bring the house and try and steal 2 points.
After blocking an extra point, why not see if you can steal a similar type of situation off the punt?
And now a penalty flag will come in. And it's going to be a false start. So, yeah, and that will move them back just a couple of yards. So back to about the 3.5. And again, the punter for St. Francis will basically have his heels on the end line. Now the snap is back nicely. He'll send this one deep. Sean Miller will field it. He takes a hit, and the ball is loose. And now the Ascenders are going to get called with a penalty. A nice shot to the back as the referee was right there. And Sean Miller Did not see how close the St. Francis player was, and that's a helmet-to-helmet contact from Ike White, and also getting there just as the ball was, so that could be interference.
I think it's got to be kick-catch interference. It's close. Watching the replay, it's a lot closer to being a legal hit than I thought it was watching it live.
And if that is some kind of targeting penalty, that may also be an ejection for Ike White. Again, in that full speed, we have the luxury of having replay and seeing that the play happened, but obviously at full speed, sometimes tough to see those plays, and it was, in fact, a kick-catch interference, so that is going to move IMG significantly closer, and it is going to be a first down for the Ascenders, and they are going to be knocking on the door of the red zone from the 25-yard line.
We've seen both teams live a little dangerously in the punt reception category here on the first couple punts of the game. IMG the beneficiary here, though, drawing the flag. They're going to start, almost in field goal range, and probably really in field goal range, as they're going to start at the 25, and definitely in a good spot to give Downs a chance to work toward the touchdown short field.
Jaden Fielding well within his range. Yeah, and the wind is gusting probably 15 to 20 miles an hour directly toward your view here from the camera.
Well, they're going to be even closer than we thought. They pick the ball up and move it forward again.
And so that will be just outside the 20. So 1st and 10 from the Panther 21. And I have a feeling that Ike White got a nice talking to after that flag came in. And again, a 17 or 18-year-old kid running full speed. It is tough to put the brakes on. It is Sean Miller and Jaleel Skinner to the near side for IMG. And that's going to be 5 more free yards.
Well, I was just going to say, the risk-reward of that hit on the punt coverage, you really think about it, with a lead, chance for a real game-changing play if you avoid the flag and still make that hit. But now you tack on another extra 5 penalty yards, and St. Francis really putting themselves in a tough spot for no reason.
And this is not a look we have seen. Bear Alexander is in on Ryan Downs' left hip at tailback, leading the way as a blocker. And that will lead the way for Katron Allen to get a few yards closer. But Bear Alexander, a very imposing body, normally playing defensive line, and he now lines up as a running threat.
I'd love to see him pop out of there out into a pass pattern at some point. If that was to set that up later, that'll be a thing of beauty.
Don't know if we'll be notified if he declares himself as an eligible receiver, but I'm sure we will find out. Downs takes the snap. And it's an incomplete pass intended for Devin Hyatt. And again, even though it was maybe a yard in front of the line of scrimmage, that's still about a 15 to 20-yard pass for Ryan Downs to complete toward the near sideline.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a mix-up. You had the 3 wide receivers out there, and Hyatt dropped back into position to catch the screen pass, and then the throw was more so in the vicinity of Skinner.
Hyatt will split out to the left. Stacy Gage on. A sophomore sensation. Now Downs fires across the middle and almost intercepted right on the numbers of number 6, Darian Lewis.
Lewis kicking himself. I mean, that was right in his breadbasket. Downs, as we watch the replay here, he looks out to the left, comes back over the middle, and clearly, that was just an anticipation throw, and was stunned to have a defender there underneath.
And on 4th down, about 15 seconds remaining on the play clock, the IMG offense on 4th and 4 is going to remain on the field. Maybe a tactic to see if they can get St. Francis to burn a timeout. Or maybe they'll try to get this play off. And that is exactly what they do. St. Francis will take their first time out with 5:54 remaining in the first quarter. Zenith is proud to be the official equipment partner of the IMG Academy football team. Zenith creates great-fitting football products that deliver elevated performance and maximum value for athletes, coaches, and parents. For more information, visit Zenith, that's XENITH.com. You are watching IMG Academy football.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Welcome back. After the St. Francis timeout, it will be Jaden Fielding on for the field goal attempt to try to cut this deficit in half. This will be about a 32-yard attempt. Downs will be the holder. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up for Jaden Fielding. And from 32 yards, the Ascenders get 3 points back with 5:50 remaining in the first quarter. You are watching IMG Academy football.
This is your game. You live it, breathe it, dream it. And so do we. We design it, test it, build it, and repeat. This is what you live for. Zenith. Live your game.
Jaden Fielding adding 3 points, and now he'll send this one deep. And through the uprights, he lets that one sail. That's probably one of the furthest kicks we've seen off a tee all season. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their 20.
He put that one through with ease. Well, IMG, pretty important. Take advantage of the short field. Would have loved to have the touchdown, obviously, but you get points out of that drive off the close distance punt, followed by a pair of penalties. Coming away with the points, the most important thing. We'll see if Downs and the offense can loosen things up next time out.
And we knew coming into this game that the Ascenders were not going to have a 30 or 40 point victory like we are accustomed to seeing. They'll send one man in motion, that is Patterson. They'll fake the jet sweep. Now looking for the home run ball. He has a man. It is caught in stride. It's going to be a foot race to the end zone. Malik Baker gets in, and another big play, 80 yards from John Griffith to Malik Baker. There are no flags, or it looks like there may be a flag down on the far side right at the 40-yard line.
That may just be a celebration penalty from there.
We'll have to get some clarification, as Malik Baker just absolutely turning on the Jets, and it is a sideline warning for St. Francis. And the touchdown will stand. One play, 80 yards, and just like that, St. Francis pulls away a little further.
Well, that play just had too long to develop in the backfield. You can't ask your back-end defenders to both look at the fake, recover, and then hold coverage against receivers of this quality.
And IMG and St. Francis have played a few times over the last few years. Before the IMG loss in 2019, the last time the Ascenders and Panthers played IMG shut St. Francis out. And this is a game they look forward to every year. They're going to go for two. Griffith going to run. Has a man, but can't get it. So 2 missed point afters, which may cost St. Francis later in the game. But with 5:34 remaining, it is 12-3 in favor of St. Francis.
Well, St. Francis leaving points on the field is, the one real early positive for this Ascenders defense. That, still just, 2 absolute stunner touchdowns for the St. Francis offense. The long run out of the gate on the first drive and then hitting on that pass. IMG, defense that is not accustomed to having anyone be able to take the lid off it, quite frankly. Usually that back end of the IMG defense out there hunting interceptions anytime the ball goes up deep. Not often you see a receiver loose and running around behind it.
Sean Miller and Keon Saab will be back to return. Again, the last time St. Francis kicked it off, it was just a squib kick that bounced all the way to Saab, and looked like St. Francis may have recovered a fumble, so the Ascenders are going to look to hold on to it on this ensuing kickoff. They'll do the same thing, let this one bounce. And looking for space. Running from that second level, that was Stacy Gage, because he wanted to try to make something happen. It'll be 1st and 10 for IMG Academy.
And we've seen Gage from that up man position do some nice things in the return game when teams elect to squib like that. But, as we've already noted multiple times, St. Francis a different caliber of opponent, when it comes to covering plays like that. And, they're a different caliber of opponent than IMG has faced in most regards this season.
They'll go with the dual back set on both sides of Ryan Downs. That is Katron Allen to his left, Stacy Gage to his right. And 2 receivers out to his left as well. 1st and 10, ball on the IMG 28-yard line. Downs takes the snap, the hand to Katron Allen, running off right tackle, barreling forward. And he'll get a nice chunk, about 6 on the play. And again, with the rivalry between these two teams, tempers will start to get a little heated towards the end of the game. And you'll see some of those extra jabs, but Katron Allen able to get 5 yards on that first play.
Thought you were going to say the end of the quarter, because, it could get there. And in terms of that play calling, I like that, though. Come back, settle down. You've still got Katron Allen. Use him as a bowling ball. Chew up this St. Francis defense. We saw how effective that was against East St. Louis, wearing them down over the course of the game.
Now Downs takes the snap, fires across the middle, and this time has Jaleel Skinner for the first down. Nice throw by Downs, and those short-range passes from 5 to 10 yards. He's definitely got the arm strength and power to fire it in there into small spaces, and gets the first down for the Ascenders on that one.
Now Cam Johnson's right there in coverage, but it doesn't matter. Skinner, with his body able to get wide at the hips and with strong hands, reaches out to make the catch to where Johnson can't come in and bother to catch at all.
So 1st and 10 from the Ascender 41-yard line. 3 receivers to the left of Ryan Downs. Takes the snap. Now the hand to Katron Allen. This time he goes right up the middle and will fall to the midfield line right on the Ascender logo and gashes for about 9 yards. And they'll spot him just shy at the 49, so an 8-yard run for Katron Allen.
Well, I questioned earlier, where is Downs at in terms of his slate of hand development? That was pretty nifty, the way he brought the ball up as if ready to snap a pass out there. And just softly dished it into the hands of Allen before faking the pump out to the left.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
You got him.
And the hard count forces the encroachment. And that'll be 5 free yards and a free set of downs for IMG, and they will be back in Panther territory.
They don't have to like it, but Cornell Evans jumped. He certainly came into the neutral zone.
And again, especially when you do that right over the ball, there's almost no way for you to not make contact with the center, but we were standing right here on the midfield line. So from the 46 of St. Francis, Samuel Mpemba moves over to the near side for some blocking help. Play action, they'll go to Mpemba. He's able to catch it and only gets about a yard. And he'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Amari Terry continues to be used as something of a rover from the safety position. Now we've seen him on the left side of the field, out almost all the way on the corner. We've seen him in the box. That time, once again, he was up on the line of scrimmage on the right side. And then dropped back. Didn't wind up factoring in the play. You know, he certainly seems to be one of those X-Factor type of defenders. They're moving to different positions, looking to give him a chance to make one.
Now Downs, he'll go to Stacy Gage in space, and Gage is cut behind the line of scrimmage. Heads up play by Jay-Sean Barham, the number 65 senior in the nation, showing why he has that ranking as he cuts down probably one of the top sophomore running back prospects in the nation as well.
Barham comes in low there. Gage thinking maybe he could jump his way out of the tackle, but got clipped at the ankles and just no chance to get out of there. Actually lost a yard.
3rd and 11. Downs looking to the sideline, and catching it is 88 Jaleel Skinner. Good for the first down, and the Ascenders having some success. There is a flag on the play. Not in the neighborhood of holding. We will see. It could possibly be a defensive hold, but we'll see what the call is. And it's going to be a personal foul against St. Francis, so tack on 15 more yards. And the fans that have traveled down from Baltimore would expect to hear the Boo Birds out again. But IMG has had some success working to Jaleel Skinner on the sidelines. Minute 58 remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, really impressed. You know, the way they're using Downs right now, using his arm strength side to side. We talked about St. Francis testing the IMG defense side to side. IMG doing the same thing to the Panthers.
And now Downs. Sends Stacy Gage in motion. There's the snap. The hand to Katron Allen. Everybody was following Downs. Allen tripped up, but not before getting a nice chunk of yards for the Ascenders.
Michael Vincent in on the tackle. Yeah, another low tackle down around the ankles. Yeah, Allen is able to turn the corner there. Wouldn't have been anyone between him and the end zone, but the linebacker able to nab him.
I'll say 2nd and 8 from the 17-yard line. Ascenders trying to get 7 points back. One man in motion is Devin Hyatt on the jet sweep. He tries to cut back upfield, and he fumbles. And it looks like IMG was able to fall on it. St. Francis comes up with it. Devin Hyatt puts it on the turf, and it's Michael Vincent who gets the ball back for St. Francis.
Looks like Malagoa was able to get on top of it, but you definitely see the ball come out. Now let's see. There's the ball. It's loose.
And Hyatt was not
just
able.
Kept squirting.
Hyatt and Malagoa unable to get on top of it, and after a nice chunk of yardage and some time off the clock, St. Francis will get the ball back.
And it was Vincent who, a play before, made that tackle to prevent Katron Allen from having a real big run. And then winds up being Johnny on the spot to snatch up the fumble as well.
So now the Ascenders, having given up 2 touchdowns, a 62-yard run, and an 80-yard pass, the defense comes back. Nice play action, a little screen. This one finds Darrell Robinson, who will be shoved out.
I don't see a flag down on that. St. Francis certainly calling for one. I don't know why. He's certainly looked like he was in bounds. He's well in bounds by the time he gets ridden out here, and only just barely over it when he gets tossed down.
And then Robinson taking a little extra leap, and Kamari Wilson didn't do anything wrong. And they actually do call the penalty.
Well, that's tough. Tough for IMG. They had that sniffed out for a fairly significant loss. You know, obviously we're not going to go all Texas Tech or anything like that on that call, but tough break for IMG.
So from the Panther 32, 1st and 10. Griffith sends a man in motion. They will fake that jet sweep. They'll go to Darrell Robinson on the right side, and he is shoved out of bounds after a nice gain of about 3 or 4 on the play.
Plenty of misdirection to keep an eye on from the Panthers offensively on that play. IMG, though, able to read it pretty well.
Under Armour is proud to outfit IMG Academy football in the world's most innovative footwear, uniforms, and training gear. Visit UA.com today to see Under Armour's full range of performance apparel. Under Armour also sponsors of St. Francis Academy, being in their state of Maryland. Now pressure coming across the middle. It is caught. And now the tackle is the St. Francis Academy Panthers get closer, and Lamar Patterson able to get the first down and move the chains.
Patterson not very far downfield at all. That pass only travels about 8 yards through the air. Then able to slip upfield for another 7 or 8.
First and 10 from their own 46. Clock down to about 30 seconds. Griffith takes the snap. They'll run this one up the middle, but IMG looked like they had Robinson wrapped up in the backfield, and he'll fall forward for close to a first down. In fact, they will mark him at the Ascender 44, and that will move the chains.
I don't know how Robinson got out of there. He was jammed up in a pack right off the bat. He's got a man on his back, and he sheds that tackle without any of those other black jerseys getting on him. They were stuck in the middle as he bounced to the outside.
Jordan Hall able to recover and make that tackle. This time they'll fire to the sideline. Incomplete pass. That falls out of the hands of Ike White.
Hot sauce on that pass. Too hot for White to handle. He had barely looked back for the ball, and it was on him.
2nd and 10. Center defense needing a stop. They'll send one in motion, and they'll go right up the middle, and this time Kamari Wilson, the Under Armour All-American, is able to shut that one down in the backfield, and he is pumped up. There's a reason he will be playing in that Under Armour game with head coach Pepper Johnson. And that will be the end of the first quarter. When we get back, it'll be third down for St. Francis. IMG trails 12-3 to St. Francis Academy. You are watching IMG Academy football.
You can't succeed by yourself. You need teammates, coaches, support. You need the right tools to give you that extra edge. That's what Theragun is to me. It's the perfect enhancement to my game. To jump a little bit farther, to run that little bit faster, to reach a little bit higher. before, during, and after my workouts. I'm DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm a Therabody athlete.
Therabody is proud to be an official recovery partner of IMG Academy. Therabody offers an ecosystem of percussive therapy and pneumatic compression products and solutions that help our student athletes perform better, recover faster, and manage pain. First play of the second quarter. Griffith rolls out to his right. Pressure coming. He's able to shed one tackle, and he'll stay in bounds, and a gang tackle. He loses his helmet. And they got to be careful with those plays. And due to FHSAA rules, Griffith will have to take a play off. His backup, Michael Van Buren, the sophomore, will come in. Very close to being a phenomenal play by Brandon Thomas. And now it's fourth down.
Very nearly a face mask there in the backfield. IMG lucky to be able to evade
and
that.
They are not going to punt. They'll have to watch the hard count. Fourth down and 4 to go. And now they're going to go to the air, and this one is caught. And still on his feet was Lamar Patterson, and the Panthers will keep the drive alive.
Well, St. Francis in a better spot than IMG is right now in terms of the quarterback position, being able to run a second guy in there and complete a fourth down pass. Yeah, shades of the Syracuse-Clemson game from 2017. Third down quarterback riding into the rescue.
And they will let Michael Van Buren stay in at the quarterback position. They'll make an adjustment at the line. 10 seconds left on the play clock. 11 and a half. And now that will be a delay of game, so can't get the play off. And now I think one member of the coaching staff is saying that he was calling timeout. And it is, in fact, a delay of game. But there is a dead sprint for about 15 yards on the far sideline. I believe a coach was pleading his case.
Not just about calling it, you got to get it granted to avoid the penalty. St. Francis sort of seems like they just got cute there. They're still not bringing the starting QB back in, though.
Van Buren takes the snap. He'll stay in the air game. He'll go across the middle, and that ball is incomplete. Excellent coverage. Jordan Hall. And you can see after every big stop the IMG defense makes, whoever the playmaker is has a different level of intensity coming off the tackle.
Well, as I said during the pregame, emotion is not something this game will lack.
Now Van Buren, this time they'll hand up the middle to Robinson, and now he bounces outside. Robinson takes a spin move, and he'll fall forward, but very tough to take down. He is number 11 for St. Francis. And he will get a nice chunk back and bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Panthers.
Big down here for IMG, especially considering how uncertain the kicking game has been in the early going for St. Francis.
On 3rd and 8, Van Buren takes the snap. Play action. Looking downfield, and he will take it himself, and Malik Bryant's got to be careful, as after Van Buren lost his footing with Malik Bryant bearing down on him, gave a little extra shove, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Weather's pretty nice today, but as we noted last night, yesterday was a pretty rainy day, a little bit of rain the day before. Still maybe some spots with a little give in the field, and you can see right there, Van Buren trying to make that turn, and his feet just went right out from under him.
Now the sophomore quarterback takes the snap on 4th down. They're going to go to the air and try to get it all back. And down he goes! The IMG defensive line comes up big and gets the turnover on downs. And it'll be 1st and 10 for IMG.
Well, a surprising play, but not one that really brought much of an element of surprise to it. IMG able to blow it up easily, and yeah, I understand. Once you're out of field goal range there, you think maybe you want to go for it, but back-to-back plays with significant losses sets up pretty good field position for the Ascenders.
Credit Justin Benton with breaking through the line and getting initial contact on the young quarterback for St. Francis. And now IMG trying to answer. 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Downs takes the snap. The handoff to Katron Allen. He will be met at the line of scrimmage for a loss. And I'll bring up 2nd and 11.
IMG to this point just not able to do anything to make that front seven uncomfortable. The front seven has been very sound, and it has been very common as well to see a safety lurking up in the box.
Now the snap. Downs will roll to his right. He'll go to the air, and it is incomplete. And that was intended for Devin Hyatt, and he had the fumble on the last drive, coming off that jet sweep.
Well, Downs at some point is going to be asked of him, can you take the top off this defense?
So on 3rd and 11, the Ascenders need a big play. Downs takes the snap. Steps up, fires to the sideline. Skinner was tied up. No penalty flags, and that'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation. That one just in and out of the hands of Jaleel Skinner.
We saw Skinner make a similar play earlier, where he was able to use his body as a shield, but that time Jamal Hood right up in there. And no easy catch, and so IMG will likely be punting it away.
And Jaden Fielding we've seen on place kicking duties. He's coming in as the punter. Now the snap back, and it is going to be a fake. And that one just over the head of Jaleel Skinner. And it's going to be incomplete, and the turnover on downs as Fielding just put a little too much on it. It would have been wide open for Jaleel Skinner, but just outside of his reach.
IMG pulling rabbits out of their hat. But that one only had one ear. Couldn't be hauled in.
For athletes who move the game forward, we're creating the fuel to get you there. Tested in the lab, proven on the field. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the proven sports fuel. So 1st and 10, Panthers back in IMG territory. Low snap. Griffith back in at quarterback. The defensive line, though, closing down. Back-to-back sacks for the defensive line. And credit Paul Hudson III, the big senior on senior night, making big plays. Also in on that was Dalen Everett and also Jihad Campbell. So 2nd and long.
That backside pressure definitely forced the hand of the quarterback, stepping right up into the path of Hudson.
And now Bear Alexander jumps the snap. And now the officials will say, and it was an offside, and Bear Alexander will give back a few of those yards from the last sack of John Griffith. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything in the early going. Some loose handling of the ball, fumbles, tight catches, a long touchdown. A lot of what we've seen, though, has been from St. Francis. IMG needs to make a few more big plays, both sides of the ball.
Griffith moves Robinson to his right side, and Griffith is going to keep it himself, and he's got space up to the 25, and then taken down out of bounds. That was Dalen Everett in pursuit. Everybody bit on the fake handoff to Darrell Robinson, and Griffith just off to the races. And again, your traditional pocket passer, but showing he can make some plays with his legs. Now the snap, they're going to go to the air. Griffith throwing it to the back corner of the end zone and well out. Good coverage from Desmond Ricks on that far side. And that'll be incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. And if you're IMG and you can get a stop here, you will get the ball to begin the second half. So a score could just absolutely change this game. But St. Francis looking to extend their lead and try to put this one out of reach for IMG.
Still 7:19 to go. It feels a lot later in the first half than it is.
Now the snap, a little misdirection. Robinson busting off to the right side, and he is brought down. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
You just had the two teams trade 4-out conversions.
Just inside the red zone, 3rd and 7 from the IMG 19-yard line. They'll send Patterson in motion, and now they're going to the air. Pressure coming, the little bailout screen to Robinson, and breaking down quickly, Terrell Foster shutting it down and bringing up the 4th down. So after the 2 big plays that have put the Ascenders down by 9, the defense has found a little bit more consistency as far as getting pressure on Griffith.
Well, great recovery by Foster to sniff out the screen, but it doesn't look like this offense has any intention of kicking tonight.
So 4th down, Griffith stays on the field, and they're going to make the IMG defense stop him. Now the snap. Griffith goes across the middle, and there is a flag in the neighborhood of holding, and this one is almost certainly coming back, and you can see the line coach, George Hegeman, pointing. Not so fast.
Well, we'll see. We saw him go for it on 4th and long regardless a series ago.
And it's a personal foul against IMG.
Well, that changes things entirely.
I guess that was something we didn't see, and I think it was number 75 on the offensive line for St. Francis who received the face mask. And I think his helmet came off, which is why he was going to the sideline. But when your helmet's removed because of a face mask, you don't necessarily have to leave the field for the next play. So now 1st and goal. They are inside the 10-yard line. Down to the 4. And now St. Francis back knocking on the door. The Ascenders would need a turnover here. And it is going to be offside against IMG. And that'll move them 2 yards closer with just under 6 minutes remaining.
This is an encroachment penalty against IMG.
A gut check time for the Ascenders. Already down 2 scores. You're down 9. Opposing team is banging on the door.
Griffith and Robinson in the backfield. The Sun man in motion, and they'll run that jet sweep to Patterson, who will get into the end zone for the touchdown. 5:33 remaining in the first. And it is now currently a 2-possession game. It's 18-3.
That play strung out as far as it could go to the left side. You know, short yardage situations like that, it's one of the few parts of the field, you know, where sometimes going as far as you can east-west pays off.
And John Griffith still on the field. They've gone for 2 with their first 2 touchdowns. They're going to do it again here on their third.
I missed an extra point on the first, which I think probably warrants why we're going to see a second straight 2-point conversion attempt. Regardless, yeah, point afters have not been a strong suit for St. Francis.
And now Griffith takes the snap. They're going to go to the air. Griffith's going to step up in the pocket, and he will get blown up. So the Ascenders and the special teams unit, or the defense, I guess, for the point after unit, been doing their job from 3 yards out. They prevent another extra point. It's 18-3 for IMG. They are trailing St. Francis Academy. This is IMG Academy football.
Water break timeout on the field. Zenith is proud to be the official equipment partner of
on my get back, copper bag slow. You would never see that. Use the trap dough.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. There you see the scattered fans from St. Francis and IMG Academy. 18-3 is the lead for the visiting St. Francis Academy Panthers. Again, ranked as one of the top teams in the nation. IMG currently holding the number 2 ranking, and the visitors getting the better of them.
Well, IMG, you mentioned a few moments ago, they are going to get the third quarter kickoff. Down 18-3. This would be a nice spot. Yeah, they haven't let downs really cut it loose downfield. And I'm not saying they need to here. This would be a good spot to have a methodical drive that gives the defense time to reset while also putting some points on the board before halftime.
Again, if the Ascenders can get a touchdown right before half, they will get the second half kick, and this one will bounce back. It is fielded by Keon Saab, and he fumbles it. And his forward progress will be stopped. He was able to hold on to it. Again, looks like he just let the ball slip a little bit, so a very long field for IMG. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line.
A little surprised to see IMG struggling with this squib strategy from St. Francis. It's not as if they haven't seen plenty of it from other teams. Yeah, some might just be the nerves of having this opponent who, comes flying down the field a little differently than some of those other teams that squib it down the field against IMG.
And they'll spot it at the Ascender 11. And in motion is Stacy Gage, and they will hit him in the open field. Cuts up field at the 15, has space. And a nice little wheel route for the sophomore running back, and Downs will complete his pass to Stacy Gage and move the chains.
It's a good start to the drive. Gage, his first couple touches have come inside the tackle box, hasn't been able to make much of it. Good opportunity to get him out on the perimeter where he's at his best. Didn't get to make anyone miss on that play, but still picks up the first down.
And a timeout is called by IMG Academy as we approach 8 o'clock. We will take it with them. 18-3, the Panthers leading the Ascenders. You're watching IMG Academy football.
IMG Academy. Therabody offers an ecosystem of concussive therapy and pneumatic compression products and solutions that help our students.
You ever have that day? You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
Michael Saunders and Company, founded in 1976, is the Gulf Coast leading residential real estate company and is proud to be the official real estate and relocation services sponsor of IMG Academy. Providing a full-service real estate experience, our team of professionals will guide you through the intricacies of buying and selling a home, as well as providing a deep knowledge of the area and the many great places to live. For more information, visit michaelsaunders.com. First and 10, 5 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the first half. Senders first and 10 from their own 23. Downs, he will be sacked in the backfield, was getting ready to let it fly, and Downs is taken down. And after the big first down from Stacy Gage, they'll lose a couple yards and bring up second and long.
Well, it looked like IMG wanted to give Downs a chance to take the lid off the defense that time, but never got the opportunity to do so. And we have a banged up Ascender as well.
And I believe looks like that might be Francis Malagoa walking off gingerly. And now we'll see Ronald Jackson, typically playing some defensive line, coming on to protect the freshman quarterback. Again, even though he's only a freshman, Ryan Downs has been on campus here at IMG for the last 3 years, getting work in with the varsity programs as a middle schooler. And now they'll take another timeout. But Ryan Downs is, again, has all the metrics for a successful quarterback at 6'4", a little over 200 pounds. So he has been, again, learning this IMG offense and has been working with the national team for the last 3 seasons. But again, at 6'4", 200 pounds at the age of 15, the arrow was only pointed up for the young quarterback.
Well, certainly. It's not as if this game tonight is the determining moment of his career, here at IMG or in football in general by any means. But, hey, every superhero has an origin story, and a comeback win tonight could be his.
And Sean Miller will split out to the right. Jaleel Skinner to the near side. Katron Allen and Stacy Gage in the backfield for the Ascenders. St. Francis has had an answer for every question that IMG Academy has thrown at them. And now Ronald Jackson will sneak in and play a little bit of left guard next to one of the top offensive linemen in the nation, Tyler Booker, who will be playing next year at the University of Alabama, ranked number 6 on that ESPN 300. Now Downs takes the snap, drops, looking deep downfield, has Skinner, and in and out of the hands. Nice coverage from Jamal Hood, one of the captains for St. Francis, and that'll bring up 3rd and long. But again, a nice look for Jaleel Skinner, just unable to reel it in.
Look at how Downs hangs in there, takes a shot, gets it out there, gave Skinner a chance.
Skinner back to the near side. 2 receivers out to the right of Ryan Downs. Takes the snap. Drops. Has time. Looking deep across the middle, and this one just short, looking for Devin Hyatt. And that'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation. And now you'll see Hunter Mako come out.
Now, we've already seen the Ascenders fake 2 punts, which is a rarity for one half of football. I think we'll see them booted away here. Well, St. Francis goes with the 2 returner setup.
And we will see what Hunter Mako has. He has one of the better legs. The wind is blowing directly from his right to his left. And it's going to be a false start, so they'll move back another 5 yards.
We saw St. Francis have a bit of a bullet in the foot in this similar situation, needing to punt from their own end zone. Now IMG faces the same predicament.
Now Mako standing in the Ascender end zone. Snap is back, and this is blocked. And if St. Francis can fall on it, it's a touchdown. Marquise Atkins comes up with it, and the defensive score will unfortunately put the Ascenders down by 21.
Can't believe that stayed in play. Certainly did, as we take another look at that. Just swatted. Initially, only one man on the field could find it. That's the man who recovered it.
And I believe that was Deshaun Womack, the number 254 junior in the nation at D end. And now the St. Francis offense back on to look for another two-point conversion. They'll put Patterson in motion, play action. Griffith rolling to his right. It is caught, and the two-point conversion is good with 4 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. IMG trails 26-3. You're watching IMG Academy football.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium, and the most points that IMG has trailed by since their last game against St. Francis, October 18th, 2019. And this one will bounce into the end zone and out for the touchback. And IMG will have a fresh set of downs. The offense will come back onto the field. 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Well, before that last drive, we talked about IMG wanting to drive down, get a score before half so they could receive the second half kickoff. Now they absolutely need to go get points before the half.
And two big plays on offense, one big play on defense. The real difference in this game for St. Francis. And Downs back out, 3 receivers to his right. And another penalty.
This one will go against St. Francis.
Offside against St. Francis will bring up 1st and 5.
Take whatever you can get if you're the Ascenders right now. Well, you know, even with some of the top public high schools in the state of Florida, you know, state contenders that come in here, physically hard for them to match up with the IMG. St. Francis can.
Now the hand to Katron Allen. He'll try and go up the middle. He'll get near the 30. And it'll bring up 2nd and short. About 2 yards to go for IMG to keep this drive alive with just a little over 4 minutes. Stacey Gage in at running back in the left pocket of Ryan Downs. Takes the snap. Now they'll go to Gage, who's got some space. lowers his shoulder, stays on his feet, cuts up to the 35, and brought down out of bounds, but getting the first down is the sophomore Stacey Gage.
Yeah, you could hear that collision up here, the initial hit as Gage goes out there on the perimeter with the catch right there. I mean, big pop delivered by Hood, and Gage bounced right off it, and somehow Hood hung in there just as well. Winds up with the tackle.
Now the snap. Downs drops. Looking across the middle, goes to his target, Jaleel Skinner, and it's incomplete. And Skinner with another drop as that one goes in and out of his hands.
Yeah, Skinner's had a couple ones that, yeah, he's been covered tightly. But the Ascenders have needed him to bring him in some big spots and couldn't bring it in there.
Now Downs, two receivers to his right. They'll send Stacey Gage in motion. They'll hand off to Katron Allen, who burst through the line of scrimmage across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. It'll bring up third down.
Well, maybe no one wants to hear about it in a 26-3 game, but Downs continues to impress me. How well he shields the ball and sort of conceals it on the handoff. Leaves the illusion of the possibility of being able to pull it out there for the pass. Got him.
And they draw the left defensive end offside, and another free set of downs for IMG with the 5-yard penalty. So 1st and 10, the Ascenders knocking on the door of Panther territory. Go to the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Allen on his left hip, Stacey Gage on his right. Downs takes the shotgun snap, play action to Gage. And they're going to go to Katron Allen, who gets some space into Panther territory and a nice chunk of yards for IMG with under 3 minutes to try to punch this one in before half.
Good methodical drive to this point. Take the yards, five at a time if you need to.
And it will be 2nd and 5. Jaleel Skinner will now split out to the right side. And again, the running backs accompany Downs on each hip. Now Downs, play action. Looking for the big home run ball, and there was definitely contact on the intended pass for Samuel Mpemba, but no flag.
They've let Jamal Hood play physical on the outside against these big receivers all game. It's the same back who's been on Skinner on a couple of those close opportunities he's had.
So 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Now they'll flip the receivers over to the near side. We'll see if Downs can maybe test his distance. Instead, they go to Katron Allen, who sheds a tackle. Cuts back the other way, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1. And 4th down from the 49-yard line of St. Francis for IMG.
Got to be 4-down territory here if you're IMG. Certainly give some consideration, let the play clock wind down. So if you don't get it, try not to leave time for St. Francis.
Sean Miller and Devin Hyatt to the near side. Now the snap. Downs looking for the deep ball for Jaleel Skinner, and the pass interference is going to keep the drive going for IMG.
Yeah, I think that was Hood out there again, who did not get flagged with a lot of contact on Mpemba just a bit ago. Tight spiral downfield, ball gets knocked away. Okay, no, it wasn't out there in coverage that time. It was Cam Johnson.
He is the number 160 senior of the 2022 class, committed to play next year at Virginia Tech.
Hokies one of several programs on the market right now for a new head coach.
And Ryan Downs took a nasty hit, and he is going to walk off. And with future Florida State Seminole A.J. Duffy unavailable tonight, looks like Katron Allen is going to have to run some Wildcat. So an unexpected handicap for the IMG offense. If Downs cannot get back onto the field, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 34. And we saw in the varsity game last night, it was the Wildcat with Joshua Tarver that got the offense going. So we'll see if this new look works for IMG. There is definitely no film from St. Francis Academy on IMG running this offense, and they will settle for a timeout. We will take it with them with 1:21 remaining in the half. IMG trails 26-3. This is IMG Academy football.
This is your game. You live it, breathe it, dream it. And so do we. We design it, test it, build it, and repeat. This is what you live for. Zenith. Live your game.
Welcome back. IMG Academy on 1st and 10. Now without their freshman quarterback, Ryan Downs. He's getting looked at on the sideline. Took a nasty hit on that play that led to this 1st and 10. And now the officials still having a little bit of a conference in the backfield behind Katron Allen. Minute 21 remaining in the half. Ascenders need a score on this drive. And it's going to be a false start on that left side. Again, Ronald Jackson listed as a defensive lineman, but with Mauagoa going down, not used to some of those hard counts. And he brings on the false start.
Well, when you're going to a Wildcat offense, for however long this winds up having to be the case, giving away those yards becomes even more dangerous.
Now Katron Allen just gets started running downhill. He's past the secondary, the 10, the 5, the touchdown, and the quarterback, Katron Allen, busting into the end zone for 39 yards. And the Ascender touchdown.
Should have just done that all night.
And that extra little yard or two and not having to have a handoff exchange. And you saw St. Francis's defense just lost. And the Ascenders come up big when they need it the most. And Ryan Downs, good to see, back onto the field. Jaden Fielding will come on for the point after. But the Ascenders into the end zone for the first time with a minute 11 remaining in the half, and boy, did they ever need that.
How desperately. Well, you run the Wildcat with a runner like Katron Allen. It means you got 10 guys out there to block 11. It means there's one guy in the defense who knows, I'm the guy who's got to tackle Katron. And whoever that guy was, he didn't come close at any point during that play.
Katron Allen with a full head of steam, and it's odd because, you know, with Katron Allen in the backfield, the ball's not going anywhere else but to Katron Allen. What a shot in the arm for this Ascender offense. Fielding on for the point after. Snap is back, the hold is down, and Jaden Fielding's extra point is good. So with 1:11 remaining in the half, the Ascenders get 7 back. They still trail 26-10. You're watching IMG Academy football.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Located next to campus, the Legacy Hotel at IMG Academy is a contemporary boutique hotel with countless amenities. The Icon Eatery and Bar available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And enjoy ultimate convenience and proximity to campus, as well as local area attractions and top-rated beaches. Visit www.imglegacyhotel.com to reserve your stay today. And a new life for the IMG offense is Ryan Downs was unavailable for a play, and that was all the Ascenders needed. They had a false start that put him back 5 more yards, and then Katron Allen shot out of a cannon.
Now, there was an unsportsmanlike penalty against IMG celebrating that touchdown, so they are backed up on the kickoff.
And this one fielded by a player that does not traditionally catch a kickoff. I think that was probably to try to throw them off, as Fielding was able to sky that ball. And it'll be 1st and 10 for St. Francis, and the Ascender defense just needs to hold them out of the end zone for 67 seconds.
That's certainly a worthwhile chance there. You know, that's a fine scenario. Pop the ball up, get the man on the return team to fall down catching it. Yeah, once or twice every 10 times, that guy might drop it. And you're right back in business.
And IMG, the defense we've seen, again, very capable of forcing turnovers. And if they could get one or find some sort of pick six or scoop six in this final 67 seconds, it'd be a whole new ball game. Now Griffith, pressure coming, and now he's got time to throw. Breaking free and just putting a little bit of a hit, and incomplete. And now a flag is tossed. The referee does that from behind the back. I don't think that should be a roughing the passer on Jihad Campbell.
Ineligible.
Ineligible receiver downfield against St. Francis.
This is an ineligible receiver downfield against St. Francis.
Well, that should be helpful for the IMG defense in terms of trying to get to the halftime locker room without giving up another score. Now, we know St. Francis, or at least we seem to know, that St. Francis doesn't have much confidence in their own kicking game.
Moves the ball back to the 32-yard line. Still first down.
And Griffith had all the time in the world, but once Jihad Campbell was sprung free, now they'll keep it on the ground. Robinson gets back up to the original line of scrimmage, so 2nd and just shy of 10, so 2nd and 11.
Neither team in any hurry to use a timeout, so I have a feeling that this is going to be a pretty safe play to get to the locker room.
Just about 8 seconds separating the play clock and the game clock. They send a man in motion, and they're still going to take some time, and it is on the ground. The forced fumble, and IMG has it with 21 seconds remaining in the half. Griffith takes a huge hit in the back, and there's the turnover when they need it. And momentum swinging into the IMG sideline.
Everything coming up great for IMG here at the end of the half, and I don't know what they're thinking after letting all that time burn off the clock. It looks like you're just going to hand it off, go safely into the locker room, and pull off a dangerous play action attempt and wind up coughing the ball up.
Kamari Wilson showing why he is the number 22 senior on that ESPN 300, forces the fumble. And now the Ascenders with a chance to get back 7 more before the half. They will receive the second half kickoff. So a score here, even 3 points would be helpful. Downs takes the snap. Drops, pressure coming. They're going across the middle. Jaleel Skinner trying to stick with it. And it is caught. Are you kidding me? Somehow Jaleel Skinner holds onto it with one hand and a defender draped all over him, and the Ascenders get 6 more. Are you kidding?
I gotta see this again.
I was waiting for the penalty flag to come out, Nate, for some sort of defensive holding or interference. Downs puts it where only Campbell can get it. The flag is there. I'm glad the referees can't see the replay because it looked like his heel may have cut the goal line, but into the end zone, Jaleel Skinner. Wow. Somebody call SportsCenter. That's going to be on the top 10 later.
Yeah, that was his left foot was real close to that left sideline in the end zone, but you can't go back and review it in high school. IMG, what a tremendous break. I mean, the scoreboard operator is so stunned they still haven't put it up.
And there was a pass interference, too, so even with the penalty, I have no idea. That is one of the greatest catches we've ever seen on this campus. So in a matter of less than a minute, the Ascenders have got 2 touchdowns.
Are they going to go for 2 here? Downs comes at timeout.
And they'll take a timeout. That is just absolutely unbelievable.
I didn't see the signal, but I think somebody called the timeout.
We're going to try and take a look at that touchdown again. Everybody deserves to see that a second time. And again, Downs, we talked about it about 10 minutes ago of game clock at the beginning of the second quarter that we didn't get a chance to see him going downfield. And there, just a beautiful pass. And it looks like he may have reeled it in his right foot. I think he absolutely got that. You don't need both feet in the NFL. Jaleel Skinner, though, with a highlight reel catch. Again, number 64 of the senior class, offers from University of Florida and Alabama. And either school would be glad to have hands that sure. He had a couple of drops throughout this half. That one, though, not going to let that one get by. The biggest catch of the half for Jaleel Skinner.
One of them may need him more than the other.
And they will keep Downs and the offense on the field. Again, this will get them back to a one-possession game. It's right now 26-16. So 2 two-point conversions on 2 touchdowns. Could make this a one-score game if they can convert. One receiver to the right, one to the left. They'll send Devin Hyatt in motion. They'll hand it to Stacey Gage looking for space and fighting forward. He crosses the plane and the 2-point conversion is good. Stacey Gage, the backfield bowling ball, is able to drag a St. Francis defender into the end zone. He crosses the plane, extends, and gets 2 more for IMG.
Gets wrapped up by the hip, but just so much fast twitch muscle fiber, able to burst his upper body forward here. Whoop! Get in.
And just like that, it is 26-18. The Ascenders, after being down 26-3, have scored 2 touchdowns in a matter of minutes. And if you're St. Francis, that's just got to be one of the most deflating things. You're on cruise control for most of the first half. 2 giant plays, a 62-yarder to open the game. Also an 80-yard passing play. A blocked punt that turned into a touchdown. You're up 26-3 against the number 2 team in the nation. And just like that, the table turns.
That Wildcat touchdown just completely changed. I mean, it injected so much energy back into this IMG team.
And there was either an unsportsmanlike or a personal foul at the 2-point conversion, so IMG will get to kick this ball. And actually, so there were 2 penalties. They're going to enforce both. I don't know why they just said the 2 didn't offset.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love the symbolism. Do we really need to walk the ball back and forth on these offsetting penalties?
And Jaden Fielding, I was going to say, if they got to kick it from the Panther 45, might as well try an onside kick and then take a shot at the end zone.
Absolutely.
Also not out of the realm of possibility here for Jaden Fielding. Or possibly try and sky it to get it to one of those second-level guys as opposed to the return men. They are playing much further up, anticipating some kind of trickeration. And this one will be fielded cleanly by Derek Moore. And 7.2 seconds remaining. Got to be honest with you, Nate. Things were looking a little hopeless with about 2 minutes left in the half. And then Ryan Downs, your only quarterback on the roster, goes down after he's able to help get a pass interference against Jaleel Skinner. And then the very next play, Katron Allen burst through for 39 yards into the end zone to get 7 back. And then Jaleel Skinner with just absolutely the most amazing catch that you will see in high school football this year.
I don't think you rule out running a little more of that Wildcat with Katron Allen in the second half. Not every play, but yeah, a big spot, third down here and there. I think there'd be a place for it.
And St. Francis is going to take a knee. 2 minutes ago on the game clock, they had a 23-point lead. That has fallen to 8 at the end of the first half. St. Francis still the better on the scoreboard, 26-18 over IMG Academy. We will take a break for 20 minutes. We'll have some highlights, and we'll also highlight our 7 Under Armour All-Americans when we get back for the halftime break. The Ascenders will receive in the second half. You're watching IMG Academy football.
Let's go to work. Here we go. Let's go. Here from.
You're here to get better. Let's get better.
live every year, Quebec, Montreal. I'm the tallest teenager in the world according to Guinness World Record book.
So when Ollie came into the weight room first, and I first shook his hand and met him, I thought to myself, man, I hope this guy comes here for the full-time year.
So I've been fortunate to coach a few 7-foot-tall players in college. Nobody over 7 foot. He is the biggest player I've had the opportunity to work with.
Yeah, it's genetics. My dad is 6'8", my mom is 6'2", my brother is 6'9".
Being a part of the basketball program for a long time, I've dealt with a lot of guys over 7 feet, so it wasn't that big of a shock. But then seeing him move and then learning how old he was, it's like, oh, this young man has a lot of potential.
I was always tall when I was a teenager. People reaction when I say I'm playing basketball, it's kind of normal for them. Of a tall guy who's playing basketball, that's normal. I played soccer before. When I was 5, we played soccer, a sport that I was being too much tall for the others.
Olivier, he grew really, really fast, and part of the process of growing really fast is you lose a lot of coordination ability and you lose a lot of ability to move quickly. So it's almost like he has to relearn how to be explosive like he was when he was smaller and younger.
You know, I think for us it's managing those expectations, because although he's 7'5", he's still 15, and you know, our job is to help make sure that we don't skip any steps in his growth and development while still maintaining high-level expectations.
My weakness for now is I don't bend my knees, I would say. Like, when we do a drill of rebounding, Coach Schiller would stop me because I didn't bend my knees.
His number one, he has to move better, right?
The things that he does well right now, keeps the ball high, which sounds silly, but a lot of bigger players bring the ball down. He does a great job keeping the ball high. He has very good touch. He's a very good passer.
I want to develop in my shot, my running skills.
Yu stands at a little over 7 feet and 5 inches. The Guinness World Record, earning him a spot in the 2022 edition tallest male teen in the world.
My reaction to the Guinness World Record was dream come true. Because when I was a kid, I used to read the pages of the books and see that the guy who was on the book, I was taller than him. When I was 12 years old, I was taller than him, so I said, why not? When they presented to me the project or the idea of me getting on the book.
I think as long as Ollie stays humble and continues to work hard, that the sky's the limit. Right now, he's very coachable. He works very hard.
Whenever you have an environment where you can have somebody push you to your next level, Olivier has other people his size, 7-footers, that he can compete against on a daily basis to help push his talent level.
We're not going to skip any steps. You know, he's got to perform well at high school and then hopefully perform well in college and with his national team. But I do believe, you know, he has the talent and the character to, you know, to play professionally one day.
Hi, my name is Flora Zhang, and I'm from Beijing, China. I'm 16 years old, and this is my 4th year at IMG and my 5th year playing golf. In terms of the percentage between how much the physical side and the mental side plays in the game of golf, I think 40-60, in the sense that 40% mental and 60% physical. So I think in practice, the most challenging part in terms of the mental aspect will be push your limits on the tough days. We're all pretty good at trying our best when you're in a great mood, everything's going your way. But I think the time that separates the great from the good, it's the time that things aren't perfect. When you get to practice, your ability to focus and lock into whatever you're focusing on, that's something that I think plays a huge role.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome. Good to see you.
I have been working with Christian Smith ever since I came to IMG, and he knows me very, very well, and I do think that he is very approachable, and he tries his best to understand adversities, struggles on and off the golf course.
So Flora, I know we met the other day as a group, and I just wanted to kind of follow up with you and see if you had any reflections on our activity that we did that involved the mousetraps and kind of activity around the range and short game areas.
Yeah, I really liked the activity because we had the analogy of what a mental trap would do to you potentially, and how that can interfere your performance in a way. For me personally, my mental trap will sometimes be like I would talk kind of negatively to myself in a way. And we actually talked about the other day that saying that trying to have a more positive self-talk and trying to blend that in every activity we do is very beneficial, and that really helps me to perform under those like pressure situations that we kind of imitate last time.
So when have you noticed your self-talk on the golf course? Have you become more aware of it, whether that's in practice or on the course in practice? Have you noticed you're talking to yourself in those situations? And what are some of the situations that you sometimes do talk negatively to yourself?
Do remember those times that I was a little nervous over those short putts, and that's the time that when all those like negative thoughts kind of just come in. By knowing how positive self-talk can help me, I just trying to calm myself down, standing over the putt and tell myself, hey, you practice a lot and you got this. In August 2020, where I was able to capture my first AJGA Open win, the last shot going to a par 5 green, the ball is a little below my feet, and I have always been struggling to try to hit a good contact from that position. And I had that shot during the last approach to the green to trying to win the tournament. The way that I calmed myself down is that I was focusing more on the process of hitting the shot instead of the consequence of what if I hit a good shot, what if I hit a bad shot. At that moment specifically, I remember that we always talked about positive self-talk to yourself. So I literally tell myself, I know who I am, I know how hard I practice. So at this moment, step up to it and just execute the shot that I normally would do on a normal round practice day.
Do you really think the greatest of all time just came from nowhere? Of course not. Because everyone starts somewhere, and champions start here. Grown rep by rep, conditioned by pro-level coaches who have earned their stripes. Built in elite camps, training day after day. Drilled until second nature becomes first. Start at IMG Academy.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You can't succeed by yourself. You need teammates, coaches, support. You need the right tools to give you that extra edge. That's what Theragun is to me. It's the perfect enhancement to my game. To jump a little bit farther, to run that little bit faster, to reach a little bit higher. Before, during, and after my workouts. I'm DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm a Therabody athlete.
Slow. You would never see that. Use the trap dough.
You ever have that day? You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium in Bradenton, Florida, alongside Nate March. I am Ryan Sudol, and we've got a ball game, 26-18 at the half. Started out pretty bleak for the IMG Academy Ascenders. We'll go over some of those first half highlights. And again, it was all St. Francis to start. You see Katron Allen getting some rushes early.
Well, this was a big penalty here. Had a chance to be another big play in the early going for St. Francis, but kick-catch interference negated the fumble recovery.
And that also started the scoring for IMG as they were able to move downfield and get their first field goal. But that, after the field goal, and IMG brought it to 6-3, 80 yards for Baker. And that brought it to 12-3. Again, they missed their first two extra point attempts. One was a kick, and then the other was a point after.
See Skinner with a critical first down at the time, but then this pitch pass here, ball gets knocked out, squirts under some bodies, and winds up in St. Francis's hands. And of course, after that,
St. Francis dominating Patterson as well as Darrell Robinson, just doing whatever they wanted on the field. And then something seemed to click in the second quarter, and the IMG defense started to flex a little bit, getting a couple of big sacks, hurting John Griffith, forcing them to bring in the sophomore quarterback Michael Van Buren as well. But then Griffith also getting some big plays with his feet to keep drives alive.
This touchdown here strung out all the way to the sideline by Patterson, turning the corner right at the pylon.
And then that put them up 18-3. And then they would not get the 2-point conversion on that one either. And then for the Ascenders, this looked like it could possibly be the end of the game early on in the second quarter. And they blocked punt and then fallen on, turned it to 26-3. But then the Ascenders would come back. This is the 2-point conversion that they finally converted. And then for the Ascenders, this play, Ryan Downs would be injured this play. A pass interference call that a lot of St. Francis fans did not like. The very next play, Katron Allen in at quarterback from the Wildcat and busting out for 39 yards. And there was only about 1 minute and 7 seconds left. And then St. Francis would give the ball up, and the Ascenders would have 21 seconds to go downfield. And then, of course, the catch of the year, Ryan Downs finding Jaleel Skinner. I still don't know how he caught that.
I mean, he just tips the ball up with his left hand, and even then doesn't get a clean grasp on it initially, while somehow walking a tightrope on the left side of the end zone.
And that is what got us to where we are, 26-18 in favor of the visiting St. Francis Panthers. And again, IMG and the offense will have a chance to possibly tie this game up on this first possession of the second half. And you can see they take all the momentum into halftime, even though they trail by 8.
Well, there again, at St. Francis, I don't know what exactly they had in mind in that play-action setup that led to the last fumble prior to the touchdown pass by IMG. The clock was running. Neither team was using a timeout. They should have just either kneeled it down or run a simple handoff.
They'll squib it again. This time, no problems fielding it. And brought down at the 20. Nice return by Sean Miller, was trying to find some space down that sideline. And the Ascender offense comes back to the field, and there you can see a little bit of jawing. Again, a couple of former IMG Academy alums in the stands tonight. Good to see some of the players from the class of 2018 and 17. Got to share some stories with the mental conditioning coach at halftime as well. So good to see them still coming back to IMG. And Downs has Katron Allen on his right hip. 3 receivers to the left. IMG trails by a touchdown. They'll split Katron Allen out at wide receiver. Ryan Downs with the empty backfield. They'll fire this one, and just a little bit behind. Sean Miller incomplete. Will bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, again, after seeing the big touchdown on it, would hate to see IMG not try that Katron Allen Wildcat. Again, not saying they have to come right out in it, but yeah, I would love to see some interchangeability here on the snap. You know, maybe run it with Downs out there on the field as an element of surprise.
Just do a running back direct snap. Again, just if anything to add the element of surprise. 2nd and 10. Downs takes the snap. They're going to go back to the air. Looking across the middle, and this one is caught. And believe that was Katron Allen catching that one out of the backfield. Going to be close to the first down marker. Now in Pemba will come back onto the field on 3rd and 1. Now Downs. Waits the shotgun snap. Puts a man in motion. They fake the jet sweep. They stay on the ground, and they will get enough for the first down. Stacy Gage moves the chains.
Especially if they're able to get downfield into the red zone. You would love to see some Katron Allen Wildcat with Gage in the backfield with him. Go double-barreled.
Again, an important note. In the 7 years that we've been doing IMG Academy football broadcasts, the national team during a regular season game has never lost at home. Downs finds Stacey Gage to the sideline. Able to spin. So good at staying on his feet and driving his legs. St. Francis able to drive him back, but not until he gets about 5 yards on the play.
Like to see some methodical offense from the Ascenders on this first drive. Yeah, they've done their scoring with big plays. They really haven't driven the ball much.
So 2nd and 5 from the Ascender 39-yard line. Downs takes the snap. The handoff to Katron Allen running right side. He's got space and into Panther territory. He fumbles it, but falls back on it. And almost breaking loose. But Katron Allen, you see the smile on his face. And the Ascenders on the march.
Fumbled that all on his own as he's going down there. And I say, what focus as we take another look at it. Yeah, I guess a little bit of a strip there, but keeps his head down, watches the ball the whole way, and picks it up clean.
Almost catching it in stride off the bounce and still continuing downfield, but good of him to fall back down on it. Downs now takes the snap. A little play action. They find Devin Hyatt. He cuts up to the 35 and is brought down at the 34-yard line. They'll give him his forward progress there. And again, 5 or 6 yards here, 7 or 8 there. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3. But the Ascenders continue to methodically march downfield.
Well, I just like this play calling. It's getting Downs into a rhythm. And he's snapping the ball out side to side.
And the freshman quarterback for IMG Academy. Takes the snap. Play action to Katron Allen. Now looking for Skinner again, and he is tied up, but no flags. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Skinner pinned up against the sideline there in coverage. Throw sailing a little high for him anyway.
And it looks like the wind may have gotten a hold of that one again, blowing directly across the field from the far side of your view to the near side. Third and 3 for IMG Academy. Moving deeper into St. Francis Academy territory. Stacey Gage goes in motion. They'll hand off to Katron Allen, and a hole the size of a truck is opened up for him, and he gets down inside the 30, down to about the 26, and another Ascender first down.
Love that play design. They send Stacey Gage in motion. It clears out the linebacker heading out toward the flat, and then they run Katron Allen right that way with a big hole.
And you see Tyler Booker there, one of the best offensive linemen in the country, if not the best. Number 6 on that ESPN 300, showing why Nick Saban wants him to come play in Tuscaloosa next year. Also, former IMG offensive lineman Evan Neal getting named as an Outland Trophy finalist. Now this throw finds Sean Miller. He's to the 20, the 15. The future Fighting Illini member able to get another first down for IMG Academy. And an offense that we did not see until late in the first half has woken up.
They're on tempo. The throws are on target. This is everything that you expect to see from an IMG Academy offense. And now this is the part of the field I was talking about that maybe you look to get creative.
Downs has Gage on his left hip. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. And it's going to be encroachment. And again, that hard count by Downs with that clap. St. Francis eager to get into the backfield. That time, a little too eager.
I mentioned earlier, Amari Terry has been all over the field defensively. They line him up all over the place. That time he was a blitzer off the edge of the line, and he came early.
So 1st and 5. Katron Allen back on the field with Stacey Gage. Looks to be a little confusion on the defensive side of the ball for St. Francis. Now the snap. Downs had some trouble getting it. He's running away, and he is brought down. Sacked in the backfield. That is Jay-Sean Barham. And it looked like Downs just had a little bit of trouble getting his hands on the snap and then could not outrun Barham. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, if he's able to roll out cleanly off the snap, he's able to change his launch location and be in a good spot, but I think you nailed it. It looked like he was having a little bit of trouble with the handle receiving the snap, and that delayed his exit from the pocket.
And now Katron Allen, they'll go back to the empty backfield. Downs takes the snap. Pressure coming, throwing across the middle end, a little bit away from Skinner. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Michael Vinson got a hand on that ball. Knocked it away. IMG. It's been a real nice drive. They've taken nearly 5 minutes off the clock. What do they got here for 3rd down and long?
And again, 3 points would not hurt the Ascenders here either. They trail by 8. Downs has Gage to his right. They'll send Skinner in motion. And now the snap, they hand to Gage going the other way to the 10. And it's going to be close to the 1st down marker, depending on where the official says he went out of bounds. And he did not get enough. It's going to be 4th and about 3.
Tough decision to make here if you're IMG.
Still 20 seconds on the play clock. We'll see what head coach Pepper Johnson, and a man with multiple Super Bowl rings, a couple as a player and a couple as a coach. We'll see what his decision is here. It's 4th down. Gage in motion. And now it's going to be a timeout. Pepper Johnson wants to think about that. We will take it with him with 7:08 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Ascenders trail by 8, but they are knocking on the door. This is IMG Academy football.
Do you really think the greatest of all time just came from nowhere? Of course not. Because everyone starts somewhere, and champions start here. Grown rep by rep, conditioned by pro-level coaches who have earned their stripes. Built in elite camps, training day after day. Drilled until second nature becomes first. Start at IMG Academy.
Welcome back to IMG Academy. And one of the most full that we've seen the stands here tonight. A lot of fans making the trip down from Baltimore. And it will be the Ascender offense coming back out onto the field on 4th and 3. Skinner and Mpemba to the right side. Devin Hyatt to the near side. They're also Sean Miller coming back onto the field. He will go into the slot to the right of Ryan Downs. And now Katron Allen will motion out as a wide receiver. Downs takes the snap. Pressure coming. He fires. Allen has it. He is going to be into the end zone. Touchdown! Katron Allen on a rocket shot from Ryan Downs, evades a tackle and brings the Ascenders within 2 points.
Allen makes the catch. There's a tackler there in position. Obviously, it's not easy for any individual to bring down Katron Allen. Winds up being a clean whiff, though, and Allen with shades of Lamar Jackson on the fancy lunge into the end zone unopposed.
Got to be careful with those excessive celebrations. Katron Allen, though, bringing the Ascenders back into it. His second touchdown of the day, his first one through the air. Again, his first touchdown, a 39-yard scamper from the Wildcat position. And now he adds one as a receiver as well. And they're going to go for two to try to tie this one up. What a turn of events. Yeah, and the Ascenders scored their first touchdown with 1:07 remaining in the first half. Low snap for Downs. And just throws it behind his intended receiver, Jaleel Skinner. But the Ascenders, it is 26-24. They are back within two. Again, with the help we mentioned of Katron Allen, one of just a few players that the IMG Academy Ascenders have going to the Under Armour All-American game. That will be Pepper Johnson as one of the head coaches. You've got Bear Alexander, Katron Allen, Tyler Booker, Jihad Campbell, Dalen Everett, Keon Saab, and Kamari Wilson, all making incredible contributions to the game tonight.
Well, that's an incredibly talented group of young men and an exceptional coach as well. Obviously, they have earned that distinction of All-American, and they're going to go represent IMG, and I'm sure represent them well.
And thank you all for spending your Friday night with us here in what is probably one of the top 2 or 3 high school football games in the nation. Here in the state of Florida, there is FHSAA playoffs going on, getting further and further into the season. Last night, the IMG Academy varsity white team punching their ticket to their first chance to play for a state title in the Sunshine State Independent Association. And now fielding. They'll try a little trickeration. And this one fielded by the running back Robinson. And he is wrapped up. Not brought down by Terrell Foster, but they're able to recover. And 1st and 10 for St. Francis.
So Robinson he did get free of the initial ankle tackle, but didn't have anywhere to escape to. And now it's time for the IMG defense to answer the bell once again. They certainly did at the end of that first half.
And St. Francis could have just taken all the time off of the play clock. And it was one of those Under Armour All-Americans and Kamari Wilson forcing the fumble that set up Ryan Downs' incredible throw and Jaleel Skinner's amazing catch to go into the half. The big man in motion for St. Francis. They try to go right up the middle and speak his name into existence. Kamari Wilson busting through into the backfield and wrapping up Robinson.
Wow, this defensive front for IMG starting to get a big push. If you're St. Francis, gotta be starting to wonder where you're going to go to find offense here in the second half if that continues.
And now Dalen Everett bursting off of that left side and incomplete. That one intended for Malik Baker. He had the 80-yard touchdown for St. Francis, which was their second score of the game.
This is Van Buren in at quarterback, by the way, so Griffith, we saw get hit more than a time or two in that first half.
And a nasty shot from Kamari Wilson that forced that fumble that set up the IMG touchdown just before the half. And now Van Buren running. He completes the pass at the 50 and into Ascender territory. A beautiful catch. That is Elijah Surratt.
That's brave of Van Buren. Turns his back to the IMG defense on that rollout. And that did seem to create some of the space that they needed in coverage, as that wind has really been whipping around.
And this will be our first water break with 5:52 remaining. We'll step aside. The Senders trail by 2 and the Panthers on the march. You're watching IMG Academy football. Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. 1st and 10. Ryan Sudol and Nate March with you. Again, just a little under 20 minutes remaining in this game of game time. And it has been quite a game, Nate. This game at one point was 26-3 with less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Now the snap, they try to run between the tackles. We've talked often at all levels of IMG football. That is often a fool's errand. They do get 5 yards on the play.
Well, to your point before that running play, Ryan, after the blocked punt, it looked like IMG was dead in the water. That Katron Allen Wildcat touchdown flipped the script.
And now rolling to his right, Van Buren fires that one. It is caught, but not enough for the first down. And Patterson. And that'll bring up 3rd down and manageable for the St. Francis Panthers.
Patterson is down at the 33-yard line. 3rd down.
Felt like that first half was just nothing but big play after big play after big play. We've seen back-to-back sort of methodical-looking drives, one for each team here to begin the 3rd quarter.
Now Van Buren takes the snap. They'll run in the middle, and nothing doing. Darrell Robinson is stopped. And Jihad Campbell in on that one, and Paul Hudson the 3rd. And again, after being down 26-3, this IMG team has found a way to fire themselves up and claw their way back into this game.
Well, St. Francis has been willing to go for it all night. If you're IMG, got to regroup quick and be ready for 4th and short here.
So 4th and short, the Ascender defense looking to stand tall. Takes the snap. Van Buren's going to keep it himself. He is wrapped up, and it looks like he may have gotten enough for the first. And that will move the chains.
Yeah, St. Francis hasn't taken their foot off the pedal in terms of the aggressiveness to go for it this entire game.
And again, this only the 2nd drive of the half. The first for St. Francis, as IMG was able to methodically move their way down the field. Now Van Buren's going to roll to his left. And it is caught, but that will be for a loss.
Well, Van Buren, that was the play that turned into the big play down the sideline. You know, that back to the defense rollout. That time didn't develop downfield for him. Tried to toss off to his safety valve, and in that case, yeah, it would have been better to throw it at his feet.
2nd and 11. They send Patterson in motion. A little misdirection. They go right up the middle. And we'll get a little bit of that lost yardage back and bring up a 3rd and 7 for St. Francis.
Well, again, if this winds up being a live ball play, if you're IMG, you got to be ready to get right back to the line. Certainly, this is what St. Francis considers 4-down territory.
Two receivers to the right of Van Buren. One man goes in motion. Van Buren rolls to his right, and Kamari Wilson tries to hawk that ball, and it'll bring up fourth down and about 4 for St. Francis. Kamari Wilson went high for the tackle. No face mask. And now another fourth down attempt. St. Francis converted on their last one. The IMG defense will try and stand strong on this one. Running back DeJuan Williams behind Van Buren, who will change the play at the line. IMG showing pressure. And now 2 men in motion. That should be a penalty. And a timeout is called before they can get those 5 yards. We will take it with them. The Ascenders on fourth down. We'll see what happens when we get back. You're watching IMG Academy Football.
You can't succeed by yourself. You need teammates, coaches, support. You need the right tools to give you that extra edge. That's what Theragun is to me. It's the perfect enhancement to my game. To jump a little bit farther, to run that little bit faster, to reach a little bit higher. Before, during, and after my workouts. I'm DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm a Therabody athlete.
Back from timeout, IMG looking to stifle St. Francis's attempt to extend their 2-point lead. So 4th and 4. It is Van Buren, so Griffith possibly hurt at the end of that first half. They will go to Robinson up the middle. He will get enough, and then the shoulder will knock him down, and the drive will stay alive for St. Francis.
Not often you're able to go between the tackles to pick up a first down of that distance, but that time a successful hole opens up on the left side.
And now Darrell Robinson. This is an interesting note. Darrell Robinson off the field. He got off the field very quickly, but now you can see him being helped on the sideline. That would be a huge hit to the St. Francis offense if he is unable to return.
Trevon Howard coming off the field for IMG with what looks like upper body discomfort. Maybe an arm or side of the body as he's attended to by the training staff.
First and goal, 1:45 and ticking away. And now the snap. And that is the backup DeJuan Williams, listed as wide receiver and running back, also a sophomore, so one of the younger players will get some yards for St. Francis. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
Critical, the way that this third quarter has gotten chewed through, critical to keep St. Francis out of the end zone here and make sure it stays a one-score game. And if they do get in, stop the 2-point conversion.
Now the snap. Running left side and tripped up. Again, DeJuan Williams trying to get to that outside edge and not enough. And now 3rd and goal with time winding down in the 3rd. Easily the quickest quarter of the game so far. Not a lot of penalties or incomplete passes.
Now it's been a live ball, and both teams just been getting up to the line and running their plays.
Patterson in motion. They'll run to the right side and into the end zone, touchdown. So St. Francis, after allowing 21 unanswered, get their first 6 in quite some time.
Thought IMG was going to be able to bottle that up and bring it down to the other end of the field for the 4th down play. But you see the guard, the pulling guard there is Tavares Ross. And the back gets right in behind Ross as he forces his way into the end zone. And now here comes that 2-point conversion try.
Yeah, and if the Ascenders can shut down this play, they will keep this a 1-score game. Patterson back in motion. He cuts upfield quickly. And wide open. And the lead is back to 10 for St. Francis. With 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it's 34-24. St. Francis with the lead. You're watching IMG Academy football.
I've been on my get back, copper bag slow. You would never see that. Use the trap though.
IMG Academy would like to thank the following proud sponsors: Academy Bus, Airweave, Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, Careware, Coach Now, Dunlop, Foley Bryant, Gatorade and the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, Guided Knowledge, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, Kitman Labs, Quick Goal, Legacy Hotel at IMG Academy, Michael Saunders and Company, Musco, NCSA, Select SOM Sleep, Tandem Construction, Therabody, Under Armour, Win Reality, and Zenith. Thank you for your continued support of all IMG Academy athletic programs, of which there are many on campus. Basketball season, our first IMG Academy Varsity National Basketball broadcast will be Monday night as basketball season is upon us. And that, one of the more powerful squib kicks that you will see, goes out for another touchback.
That's a couple times IMG has realized that hard squib kick is there by design. They've just let it bounce all the way through. If you're IMG now, just a little time left here in the third quarter. Still the whole fourth quarter ahead of you, but you know, if you're going to have another long touchdown drive like that one to open up the third quarter, you're going to be counting on your defense. You're going to need that stop, and you're going to need it quicker.
Skinner and Miller to the near side as receivers. Katron Allen joins Ryan Downs in the backfield. And Pemba in motion. Now the snap, the hand to Katron Allen, trying to find some space. He's broken some big runs and looking for another one there. He'll get close to the first down marker, and they will move the chains. Katron Allen with another 10-yard gain.
Allen got the first 5 easy, got popped and spun around, and went and got 5 more. You look right here at the 25, sheds one tackler, runs into his own man.
And with 10 seconds left, now 5. Looks like this is what we will take into halftime as Katron Allen is getting looked at by the trainer. Hopefully it's just a cramp. We've come to the fourth, and the Ascenders trail by 10. 12 more minutes left to decide who will win this matchup of the two national powerhouses, IMG Academy and St. Francis. You're watching Ascender football.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way.
Welcome back. The Ascender offense back onto the field. It will be 1st and 10 after the scamper from Katron Allen. And he did get some looking at by the trainers, as I have lost track of him on the sideline, so he is up and moving. Now Downs takes the snap. Gets this one to Stacey Gage, who cuts upfield, changes direction. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, almost a real disaster there for IMG as a lollipop snap, and Downs almost dropped down onto a knee to grab it. Would have been down at that spot.
Now Downs. Gage stays on his left hip. He now has 3 receivers out to his right. Snap is high. Downs brings it down, and it is intercepted. Going back the other way, that is Jamal Hood, who has a chance to blow this one open. And touchdown, St. Francis, a pick 6. There is a flag. And a couple St. Francis players showing some frustration, so if this is on St. Francis, depending on when the penalty occurred, IMG might get a lucky break.
Hood cut right under the route of Hyatt for the easy interception. Had a head of steam crossing the field, but all for naught, it looks like, as this one's coming back.
And based on the yardage, this possibly could have been a roughing the passer or face mask, but definitely a 15-yard infraction. Again, we haven't gotten any clarification from an official. Did not see what it was. And it was roughing the passer. So 1st and 10, the Ascenders now from their own 45-yard line. And that's got to be deflating for St. Francis, thinking that they had just blown this one wide open.
Yeah, that had a chance to be pretty close to being the ball game. False start here.
And it'll be 1st and 15 for IMG. That time, Ryan Downs' clap just causing somebody on the offensive line to make a little move. Now the snap. The handoff up the middle, nowhere to go. And Stacey Gage brought down for a little bit of a loss. And that'll bring up 2nd and about 16.
Gage, certainly a stronger runner out on the perimeter where he can make people miss. Doesn't have that same bowling ball quality of Katron Allen. We have not seen Allen back on the offense since leaving the field there at the end of the 3rd quarter.
He is back out there now on the right side of Ryan Downs. Now takes the snap. Fires this one to the sideline. It is caught. Skinner will get that one to about the 49-yard line. A nice chunk of yardage to bring up a 3rd and manageable for the Ascender offense. So a gain of 10 on that play.
Again, if you're IMG, I think you got 2 shots at this. You know, anytime you're around midfield now, inside the final 10 minutes, I don't think you're going to be punting the ball away, trailing by 10.
Downs awaits the snap. He drops. Time to throw. Downfield, this one a little high for Jaleel Skinner, and that will bring up 4th down.
Looked like a miscommunication. Skinner breaking in toward the post. That ball thrown to the outside and quite a ways downfield. And, well, IMG has already faked 2 punts. Do they have a 3rd punt fake in the playbook?
And Hunter Mako will come out. And St. Francis looks like they're having a little bit of awareness for that. Lamar Patterson. Maybe a hard count to get him 5 yards closer. The long snapper, Gabe Landers, just recently committing to the University of Miami. And this one maybe trying to draw some poison. And it will bounce out just before reaching the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10, and the Ascender defense is going to need a quick 3 and out here. The Ascenders need 2 scores.
Yeah, a little surprised to see the Ascenders punt there. Defense have been playing really well, and the defense didn't really do anything wrong per se on that last drive. St. Francis's offense, methodical and able to grind their way downfield for a touchdown and made it a 2-score game. Now you have to assume that they want to stay in that sort of methodical 5-7 yard chunk type of plays to try and grind down the clock as well with 9.5 minutes left.
Ascenders would love for Michael Van Buren to get a turnover right here. They'll go to Patterson on that sweep to the outside, but not getting around Desmond Ricks. As we have just over 9 minutes remaining in the contest. And IMG, closest game they've really had. They were trailing to Auburn High School up in Auburn, Alabama, into the third quarter before coming back and winning by 10. They are going to need some big plays here against one of the other top teams in the nation. This time they try to run right up the middle, and they'll gash the Ascender defense for a couple yards, and now some pushing and shoving.
Big third down play coming up here.
Third and 8. Potentially one of the biggest plays for the IMG defense this game. And that will draw Bear Alexander offside. So 3rd and 8. Going to turn into a 3rd and 3.
Well, if St. Francis is able to convert now, that's going to be a costly penalty, as it probably will mean another 2 minutes off the clock, which will bring us within the final half of the fourth quarter.
Still a big opportunity for the Ascenders to shut down St. Francis. And they'll try to hand it up the middle. Does not look like they got enough, and we'll see 4th down for St. Francis Academy.
That's number 32 on the carry. He's brought down by the Bear.
St. Francis converted a couple 4th downs on their last drive. I can't fathom they would try again here.
And it looks like they are actually going to bring out the punting unit. But again, IMG going to have their head on a swivel to potentially see if St. Francis has a fake up their sleeves. And this one will take a bounce, and Sean Miller is wise to run away from it as it will roll down to the 25. Do or die time for the Ascenders. 7:23 remaining in the game. They trail by 10. You're watching IMG Academy football.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Welcome back. 1st and 10 for the Ascenders. 75 yards to go to get back within 1 score. Downs awaits the snap. From shotgun, he rolls to his right and sails it over the head of Stacey Gage. A little off balance on the throw and a little too tall for Stacey Gage.
Got rid of that ball a little early. Had time to get a foot planted, as well as let Gage extend a little further out there with blocks developing in front of him. Certainly a pressure drive here with 7:17 left for the freshman.
He's got one target to his left, two to his right. Both running backs in the backfield with him. And now throwing this one deep. And there was a little bit of contact. That one intended for Devin Hyatt. But he was not able to break his route and come in to get that one. The wind again blowing very stiff. We can see the American flag in the south end zone almost fully blowing in the wind. 3rd and 10. Still have one more hydration break, 7:11 remaining. And now Downs. Takes the snap. Fires across the middle, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Devin Hyatt. Great coverage by the secondary for St. Francis, and it's 4th down.
Ball arrived on Hyatt's hands right as the secondary arrived as well. If you're IMG, you just were able to get a 3 and out. This time, though, it looks like they're going to go for it on the 4th down. 7:05 left.
And they trust the Ascender defense if they don't convert this, but I don't think that's on their minds right now. 7:05 to go, 4th and 10. Ascenders trailing by that same number, 10 points. It's 34-24. Ryan Downs takes the snap, looking downfield, and that is over the head of Sean Miller and incomplete.
Downs got hit hard at the end of that play, but this time no flag. Of course, the interception just a bit ago was negated by a roughing the passer penalty. St. Francis takes over with golden field position to try and knock one in to salt the game away.
Still some time left, but that is the new opponent that has entered for IMG, St. Francis Academy, and the game clock. A 3 and out would be great here. A turnover would be even better from one of the nation's best defenses. And now there is a flag. Van Buren still in at quarterback, and that will be a false start, and they will move back 5 yards.
Well, that's a good start to the drive for IMG, the false start. Not St. Francis, a team that, yeah, realistically is probably going to attempt a field goal at any point. Their only time they've tried to kick much of anything other than a couple punts in this game is they tried an extra point after their first touchdown, and it didn't even make it over the heads of the offensive line.
1st and 15 from the Ascender 30-yard line. Van Buren makes the adjustment. Takes the snap, the hand. Finds DeJuan Williams, the sophomore. And he gets a chunk of yardage back. About 5. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. As the Panthers back to the Ascender 25-yard line. And it looks like Darrell Robinson, after leaving a few plays ago, has not returned, and it will be on the sophomore for the running game for the final 6.5 minutes. Now the snap, the handoff, and brought down. That is Jihad Campbell making the tackle. And not as successful as Williams' first run. Will bring up 3rd and 9.
Well, I know I'm kind of harping on this, but if you're IMG, just got to be mindful. They're probably not going to, or I shouldn't say probably, but might not go beyond the sticks on this play, but they'll be rushing up to the line if they don't.
And now they're looking deep into the end zone, and it is intercepted! Believe that was Dalen Everett cutting back across the field, and what an interception for IMG. It looked like Malik Baker, who already had the 80-yard touchdown, looked like he was going to be wide open into the end zone.
Here too at the end.
And then Taylon Everett showing off those hands and taking it back. And new life for IMG, and it looks like there was some unsportsmanlike conduct. There's a flag down at the 48.
Well, great decision by Everett not to just take the touchback, brings it out of the end zone. And if this flag is against St. Francis, IMG is going to be set up with fantastic field position.
And we'll see what the official call is. And it looked like it might be a hold against IMG, but they get the ball back and they're going to take the hydration break with 5:57 remaining. Ascenders still trail by 10. You're watching IMG Academy football. Welcome back. I believe we're seeing the drum corps for the Sarasota Military Academy who's joining us tonight to give it a little more of a Saturday afternoon feel. Having the drum line go, Ryan Downs and Katron Allen back in the backfield. Ascenders 57 yards away from getting back within a score. And now Skinner. Downs is going to have to keep it himself, and now there is a penalty flag down at the 40.
Downs keeps it and is forced out of bounds. There is a flag on the play. It's forced out of bounds by Barr.
Vicinity of the field, obviously you're thinking probably a hold. Whatever it is against IMG.
And it will be a hold against the Ascenders. So not doing themselves any favors on 1st and 10. And it looks like this might be more than a hold.
This is an illegal block below the waist.
So it was an illegal block below the waist. So 1st and 25, that was a 15-yard penalty. And that'll bring the Ascenders back to the, looks like the 25-yard line. Now Downs firing downfield, looking for Jaleel Skinner. He in and out of his hands, great coverage. Stood over by Cam Johnson, again the future Hokie. That'll bring up 2nd and 25, but Ryan Downs, again, showing off the potential as a freshman.
Skinner had the tremendous touchdown catch, one of the finest of the season earlier. Yeah, he showed his hands off going to the ground that time, but yeah, a little bit of a hard landing, couldn't reel it in.
2nd and 25. Downs drops, pressure coming. He steps up in the pocket. He's got players there with him. He's able to get some good yardage with his feet. That'll get him up to the 34.
3rd down still needs a lot, and this time going to be under 5 minutes. I think this time it has to be 4-down territory if you don't get it here.
3rd and about 19 for IMG. Under 5 minutes to play. Downs takes the snap. Has time to throw. Skinner comes back to it. He catches it. They'll get about 9 yards back, maybe 8. And it'll be 4th and 11. And the Ascenders offense is going to stay on the field. This is do or die time for the Ascenders. And it looks like we'll have a timeout from St. Francis. We will take it with them with 4:25 remaining. Ascenders on 4th and 11 will try to keep the drive alive. You're watching Ascender football.
You can't succeed by yourself. You need teammates, coaches, support. You need the right tools to give you that extra edge. That's what Theragun is to me. It's the perfect enhancement to my game. To jump a little bit farther, to run that little bit faster, to reach a little bit higher. Before, during, and after my workouts. I'm DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm a Therabody athlete.
Fourth and 11 as we break the timeout from St. Francis. And a few more than just the normal defensive personnel in on that timeout huddle for the Panthers. And trying to upset the number 2 team in the nation in the IMG Academy Ascenders. Three receivers out to the left of Ryan Downs. Jaleel Skinner, the lone target to the right. Now the snap on fourth down. Pressure coming. Throwing high for Skinner, and there should be a flag for pass interference. Hands all in the back of Jaleel Skinner, and nothing. It'll be a turnover on downs. And now time winding down for IMG. And St. Francis already celebrating on that sideline.
IMG able to get the quick interception last time facing this position. They need something similar.
Again, we saw IMG score 2 touchdowns at the end of the first half in a matter of 60 seconds. But they'll need a turnover. Van Buren takes the snap. And the new running back, number 32. Do not have him on the roster that we were given from St. Francis. But he'll get about 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up second down.
It's a mystery.
Two receivers to the right for Van Buren. And another encroachment penalty from IMG. That'll be 5 yards for free for St. Francis.
Well, IMG now forcing the second and short, whole playbook open for St. Francis. Van Buren's played with some moxie since coming in.
Very quick on his feet and also a nice quick release. Trips bunched out to the right for the backup quarterback. They run to the left and right into the arms of Malik Bryant.
Well, this will take the clock under 3 minutes.
Third and 2 to go. Ascenders need to stop here on these next 2 plays as a first down will all but ice the game for St. Francis. Trips to the right. Now the snap, the handoff, they'll try to run right.
St. Francis thinks they have the first down. They do.
They will move the chains, and that will make it very tough for IMG to have any chance at getting the ball on offense again. I believe they'll still have to snap a play here. So a turnover still in the cards.
IMG still has a couple timeouts, I believe, but they have not called for one.
Run right side for St. Francis, and into the gang of bodies on that right side. And now under 2 minutes to play.
I hate to offer a eulogy with 1:40 left, but I mean, IMG showed all sorts of fight in the tail end of the first half, first drive of the second half, but without some key personnel, looks like they're going to run out of steam here at the end against St. Francis.
And right on the right tackle again, another winning streak. IMG had not lost since October 18th of 2019. A 35-7 victory for St. Francis. And they'll have to start a new streak in 2022 as we are down to 1 minute remaining. And now trying to pump up the Travelers from Baltimore, Maryland. St. Francis showing up in some good numbers.
Looks like there might be a Gatorade bath in the offings here.
And a timeout called from St. Francis. We will keep it here. Nate, 9-0 for IMG Academy coming into this game, and there is the Gatorade bath. The St. Francis Panthers will upset the number 2 team in the nation. Again, the slow start for IMG, not having their starting senior quarterback, A.J. Duffy, who was committed to Florida State. And the Ascender season will end on the first loss at home in 7 years.
Well, IMG certainly plenty to look forward to next season. They have a load of talent on the ESPN 300 in the junior class. You never know what sort of talent may be transferring in here. Of course, you've got Stacy Gage coming back, who, when we see the ESPN 300 for
the junior class next year.
I was going to say the class of 2024. I expect we won't have to look too far down the list to find him.
And they take a knee with the victory formation. Again, a heartbreaker for some of these seniors on senior night. Have not seen a loss all year long. 34-24 will be the final. And St. Francis, for the second straight time against a top 5 ranked IMG Academy team, will walk away victorious. And that is the final. 34-24, St. Francis Academy. Congratulations, they will go back home, probably ranked in the top 10. According to Max Preps, they will do their handshakes. Our next broadcast of IMG Academy football will be December 4th as the varsity white team will be playing for their first ever Sunshine State Independent Association State Championship. That game, again, 2 weeks on December 4th. Those of you that have spent the last 10 games watching the IMG national team, whether it was myself or Nate March, both of us, we want to thank you for tuning in. A little bit of a heartbreak to the end of the season for one of the top teams in the nation, but they will be back in 2022. And again, they will, for the juniors, remember this loss. For the seniors, we wish them the best as they move on to their Division I commitments. That's going to do it here for us in Bradenton. For everyone here at IMG Academy and for my broadcast partner, Nate March, my name is Ryan Sudol saying so long from the Suncoast.